All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give our praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom Tada Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And in this lesson, it's going to be kind of brief to the point. I just want to touch on the topic of, doing good into yourself while I was thinking about it, because you'll have brothers that know the truth, know the scriptures, that can go precept on precept into the breakdowns and have understanding how to break the scriptures down. Yet when it comes to actually walking in the scriptures and applying it in your conduct in the way that you carry yourself and the decisions you make in your day-to-day life, you wouldn't be able to tell the same, and it shouldn't be like that. We have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so it should be applied to the way that you move. Is this a good choice that's going to affect me in a negative manner? Is this the right move to make? Is this something I should be seeking counsel on before I do it? Not just, making choices all the time or decisions all the time on your own, especially when a lot of those moves that you have been making are not the best decisions, which us having this knowledge and understanding should make you have that discernment, give you that knowledge to know that, the understanding, that spirit to know, all right, this isn't the right thing to do. This isn't the right move to make because I already did something similar to this, or I made a move like that before and it didn't work out. Or this isn't, you should come to a point to where if you're doing something, this ain't working, I got to do something different. This ain't it, But first scripture I wanted to get is in Sirach 14 and 11. And it says, "My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself and give the Lord his due offering." Yeah, you got to do good into yourself, man. First and foremost, spiritually, right? Being in the spirit, all right, feeding your spirit daily. Because if you starve in your spirit, obviously you're going to lose the spirit, right? And then outside of that, you got to do good into yourself with your day-to-day life. Not just being drunk every day, all right? Not just being slothful every day, lazy, being a glutton, just eating food, just eating terrible food at that. On top of that, not taking care of your health, destroying yourself financially, and putting these extra burdens upon yourself unnecessarily, all right? Because you can sit here and try to blame Satan for everything, yet at the same time, you can't. It comes to a certain point in time where you have to take accountability. Yes, the spiritual demon, Satan, is we're fighting against, the spiritual wickedness every single day, demons and whatnot. Yet you have to put up a fight. You have to take accountability for the things that happen, because you can't just sit here and say you're going to let Satan win, letting Satan win every battle. You're going to have the same excuse of ignorance every time you do a wrong decision. You have to come to a point to where you do better, do good into yourself, all right? Because, hold up. Yeah, like I was saying, you have to do better for yourself, man, all right? Because these things can and will affect you, whether it's going to be beneficial for you moving forward or detrimental for you. And a lot of Jakes be making moves that don't be beneficial, okay? Now, it doesn't apply to everyone, because certain brothers, they're good. You know how to, you understand yourself first and foremost, like the scriptures say, examine yourselves, all right? Know ye not yourself. So you should have an understanding within yourself to know what is the right and bad move to make for you that will work out, that won't work out, all right? Especially if you already been in this truth for some time. It shouldn't be as many fuck ups, so to speak, right? Because shit gonna happen here and there, don't get me wrong. Nonetheless, you shouldn't be having stuff always constantly just happening. You always sickly, you know, just because you're not taking care of your health. You having all type of health problems all the time. You never getting any better with that. All right, you always, you know, doing bad financially, never having any money in your pocket, so to speak. And yeah, we have our ups and downs. Like the scriptures say, Paul said, I know how to be abased and be abound. Yet, like I said, a lot of these issues that happen in Jake's life, you bring upon yourself by the things that you did or that you are doing. When it can be not as bad if you just dig good into yourself, apply the wisdom that we have, and use it in a manner to benefit us in our our walk while we are here in captivity, because we still here nonetheless. We still got to be in these bodies until we're delivered. All right. So why make it more of a burden than it has to be already? It's already a battle as is. You want to handicap yourself even more, so to speak. But the next scripture I want to get is in Proverbs. Oh, fuck. Um, yeah, Proverbs 4:7. It says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. And that's right, man. When we like I say, we have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Apply it, you know. And when you read it in the NLT, it says, getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do, and whatever else you do, develop good judgment. And that's what being in this truth really should be doing for you. We become a new man. We become a new creature with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Being around brothers that's into many different things, that have been more seasoned in the truth than you, who've been through a lot more experiences than you, who can give you counsel, seeing how they move just from being around them, right? Seeing how they carry themselves and how they handle certain situations, or if you don't even know about your specific situation you may be dealing with, asking, because someone else who's been in here longer than you and is older than you more than likely knows how to handle it. And then you take that wisdom moving forward and apply it to the next situation you may go through. All right. But you're supposed to be developing good judgment. Like I said earlier, knowing, is this a move that's going to make my life more difficult than it has to be? Is it going to be making me, fucking me up? Or is it going to be something good for me that's going to be beneficial for my spirit? Because when you are in these situations where you have fucked up health, you in financial struggles, you got whatever other problems you can go through that can be caused by you. All right, it ain't like it's just a fucking random occurrence that just happened, which these things may happen, right? Getting laid off a job or whatever, that's out of your control. But a lot of things are in your control that you can change and not do or handle differently. And Jake don't handle it the right way, or you don't change the things that need to be changed. You're supposed to develop good judgment, man. Like I was saying, examining yourself. Like it says, no, that's, you're supposed to know yourself, This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. You got to test yourself, man. Because how do you know? If you don't know yourself, man, what the hell are you doing? At this point, right? If you've been in here for some time, you should already have that good judgment Like I was reading in Proverbs, the 4th chapter, you supposed to develop good judgment. Knowing, all right, this ain't, I done been down this road before. This not it. I don't need to do that again. And a lot of times you shouldn't even have to go down the road, so to speak, to get to that point. Yet sometimes it has to be like that. At the same time, it shouldn't be like that every time. Where you need to literally go through hella shit just to come to the full circle and be like, man, I shouldn't have been doing all that. You should already be seeing the signs, so to speak, before shit gets bad. And you should already be knowing what not to do in the first place with yourself. Because you can't just uh, put yourself in the same category, so to speak, or in the same shoes as the next person. Because you might see them doing things or making certain moves and thinking you can do all of that when really you can't. You're not at that point. You're not at that level, so to speak. That just, it wouldn't work for you. You got to stick to what works for you. And after you've been in the truth for some time, you should have been testing yourself, trying yourself, knowing to get temperate. All right, knowing like, all right, I can't mess with the drink because I'll be fucked up the next day. For like an example, right? Random example. I can't really sip like that. I could do 1 or 2 shots, but if I drink too much, I already know I'm gonna be fucked up the next morning. It's gonna delay my whole day, set my whole program back that I normally try to have set, my routine, this and that. Same thing financially, right? I don't need to be getting a new car, something that's, I don't really know cars like that, but a car like a BMW or something super expensive that's out of your price range when you know that's over your budget. That's as far as your overhead goes. So then that's just putting more of a burden on you financially as well as mentally because you're stressed out worrying about how you're going to take care of things now, how you're going to do this and that. But the main point I'm getting at is that a lot of these situations that can come upon you in life are brought upon you by the things that you chose to do. When you don't have to do these things. If you were doing good unto yourself, you wouldn't be going through these things in the first place. Life is already hard as is, especially for us being in the truth. We already have a spiritual battle to fight every single day. So why do you want to make that battle any more difficult than it already is? All right. You should be wanting to make it as bearable as possible, so to speak, right? Because it ain't like it's just going to be smooth sailing all the time. Nonetheless, you shouldn't be adding extra hell onto yourself unnecessarily. All right. So going back to the point in the scripture, it says 2 Corinthians 13:5, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith, prove your own selves, know ye not yourself own selves, how that Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobates. And that's right. You supposed to have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in you, at least ye be a reprobate, man. And like I read in Proverbs, the 4th chapter, all right, you supposed to develop good judgment. That's the key thing that I'm getting at. You being in this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, hanging around wise brothers in the truth that's in the spirit as well, that have knowledge, spiritual knowledge, as well as knowledge of how to operate in the world, how to carry yourself or conduct yourself, the moves you should and shouldn't make, taking counsel and taking heed to things, advice. You should have developed good judgment over time to know what to do and what not to do, because the things that you choose to do or not to do will affect you. Whether it be good or bad, it all depends on what you're choosing to do. That's why I started off with doing good unto yourself, man. You have to examine yourself to come to that point to where you know what to do and what not to do, and what's more than likely going to work out good for you and what's more than likely going to be bad for you. All right? You should have developed that good judgment over time. Being in the spirit, you have the spirit and knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? So you should have that knowledge, that judgment to know what's good for you, except you be a reprobate. So you got to do good unto yourself, man. Like I said, whatever the case may be for each individual person, because everybody has a different situation. Not all the same shoes fit the same person. All right. So you got to come to that point within yourself, man. Develop that good judgment. to do good into yourself, to build yourself up to be able to stay in the fight, to stay in the battle, stay in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. Hey, so with that, I'm going to wrap up and give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.